looks like I've taken on a whole lot of both of them.
Both of them,
So what's the blessing in it? In being willing to take all that on.
Being willing to take all of that on.
Yeah. Yeah. Being powerful enough as a man.
You know, I'm not looking for deep answers anymore. I'm really not.
You know, the other thing that struck me about this right now, right here, is that, you know, somebody will look at you and say, well, boy, you are so full of life. I mean, it's hard to believe that you have a, I mean, we all have a terminal diagnosis, but yours is rapidly approaching. And it just, it doesn't quite fit. And so...
You think it doesn't fit in your mind?
How
about mine?
Yeah. Well, no, in that, you know, this is somebody who's, you know, who has a, you know, who has got metastatic colon cancer, and yet, because I see a lot of people who have metastatic colon cancer, and they don't look like you. They don't look like somebody who is still, you know, seizing the day and still, you know, very much waking up every morning, being glad to be alive and being fully present. And so I think one of the things that, you know, you mentor for me, for us, I'm going to make an us statement, and then I think with this tape as well, is that, you know, this is how somebody can, you know, as they approach the sunset of their life, you know, this is one way to do it.
That's why one of the reasons we're doing this. You know, this morning Will and I were talking about this. He was mentioning to somebody sitting next to him about this course he's redone about choice. And I say, if we have a choice to do it the hard way or the easy way, why do we choose the hard way? Unless we want to play victim and say, poor me, and fuck you, God, and why? I don't want to do that way.
Yeah. I really want to celebrate that in you, Paul. I mean, it happened in the room this morning with Frank.
Yes.
And, you know, because you were in the room, it streamlined a process. It could have gone on, made us think about, you know, leaving. And you're not going to be in the room to do that in the future. And there's a lot of rooms where you're not sitting where that's needed. And I'd love you to say a word about what that is. To me, just observing, it's like, shut the fuck up, open your hearts, and see the easy way that's staring us in our faces, that we're not seeing because we're trying to talk our way out of something. And you just cut through like a knife. Let's do this. So, anything you can say about that?
Well, part of it is my New York arrogance. I know better than you how to do this. Part of it is that, and you know, my carpet work was all about not seeking others' approval, and it was completely worthless because I've still been seeking approval every day since then. You know, it's the truth. I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. There's nothing I can do about that. So there's part of me that just I can't keep my mouth shut because I want to look good. You know. I look pretty good, didn't I?
Yeah, you know, and I'm going to spin it a different way.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
that
what you're showing to me, that life is precious, and I don't have time for this nonsense. Let's get to something that means something to me, because I'm not going to be here that much longer.
You know, it's not that I'm not going to be here, it's that life is precious, and I don't have time for the nonsense.
Right.
And it's not because of this. I don't have to.
I'm not talking about your disease, because the bottom line is I don't have enough time left. I mean, I will not live. I mean, all of us in this room, I think most of us in this room have been to the mountaintop, you know, see the other side, and know that the tribe's going to get there, but we're not. You know, and that's one of the things about being an elder. And I know my time is limited. The clock is ticking. I don't have time for bullshit.
Yep. That's how it is for me. Absolutely. I don't have time for it.
It's about taking a risk, isn't it? Isn't it about you have an opinion and you state it, and you're willing to state it as an elder, and you're willing to take that risk to put
I'm willing to state it
out.
as a man.
Yeah.
I don't care about elder or younger.
Right.
I'm 18 years old. I got I know some 18-year-olds that would do that too. Guys that got a pair of balls.
So it's the emperor's new clothes. That's, I mean, the fucking guy is walking down the street with no clothes on.
Yeah.
You know, what are we doing pretending he is?
That's clothes on, right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and that is what you do, Paul. You really do make that call.
It's not suffering fools lightly.
Yeah. My grandson, who is 16, just asked me the other night while we were eating, he said, if everyone believes something, deeply believes it, does it make it true?
Wow.
I mean, that's that whole adolescent, contemporary adolescent thinking, which is exactly the opposite of what you're doing, Paul. So thank you.
I've always watched group hysteria. You know, like Hitler was really the master of it. No matter what he set up on that stage, no matter what he said, the group would be behind him. And we've seen that so many times. Group hysteria. Who's ever talking, I'm following. And I've always said that's fucking bullshit. That's complete bullshit. So part of me just has always rallied against, just because a guy's up on the stage talking, or a guy writes a book, just because it's in a book makes it true? Give me a fucking break.
Paul, you said something earlier. You're not looking for deep answers. Can I ask what you are looking for?
I'm looking to live every day of my life in vitality and peace and joy.
Good.
And what's happening for me, especially with this process with Dean, is that, you know, I've been known as the curmudgeon around here. And my Tuesday night group has said, that curmudgeon is slipping away. So I'm really letting go of a lot of attitudes and a lot of things that I held dear that don't serve me, don't serve you, don't serve the world. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, what have I been carrying that I don't need to carry anymore? And I may live for another 20 years, but I'd really like to live it without these attitudes than with it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to clean it up.
Sounds like big work for a 3.
You know, it doesn't seem like big work anymore. It's coming, but I'm not working it. It's coming as it's coming. I go, oh, that one, okay. That one, okay.
Paul, as we look forward to what the 20-something, 30-something guy might need, want, and want to invest in, how do you see MKP evolving to address that next generation?
In 30 seconds or so?
Yeah. The bell rang.
I believe for every organization, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I really believe that MKP is in the end run now. I think MKP has done its job so magnificently. But I think that old job that they formulated in Wisconsin at that kitchen table is no longer applicable to the greater. And I think it's time for the young guys to step forward and come up and see what do you guys need? And because I see MKP folding, it's a good thing to me. I don't see it dying with sadness, and a lot of guys don't think that's happening. A lot of guys are hanging on, and I could be completely wrong, and that's cool too. But I don't see it as a viable thing anymore. It's gotten so sanitized, so fear-based. This insurance thing, I laugh. It's a complete joke. I was on a call the other night about death and dying with the leaders, and I said, wait a minute, have you all you guys signed your waiver so we can be on the phone together? And that was a joke, but it's not.
Yeah. It's not.
It's too fucking sanitized for me.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this for 10 years
Right,
anyway,
yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
So I don't see a great future for it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And maybe it was our generation that needed to hear it. The Robert
Absolutely.
Bly stories.
Yeah, the 42-year-old
Giant
white
story.
affluent men.
Yeah.
That's what it was meant for.
And it was an awakening for us, and
Look how many of them.